Hi there, welcome to the Newfoundland Outsider. Welcome back. Well, I'm in for a couple of days. We had a bad rainstorm go through here. The last time I was in, we were getting a little accumulation of snow. We probably had 3 or 4 inches last week. We had a bad rainstorm come through, a lot of wind, took away all the snow. That seems to be our climate now in this country. Our winters come later and later. We get way more rain and rain. Just something we got to deal with. We had so much wind that it blew the face off my new thermometer. I know when I get a lot of wind because my mop always blows down. There's a lot of fallen trees around here, a lot of rotten trees. I gotta clean these up this weekend. I'll use whatever firewood is good, and I'm gonna burn the rest on the beach and have a big bonfire. That tree right there and that tree right there, they gotta come down, or at least the top. Last week I was in there doing some work. We had freezing rain and the top of the tree froze, and then it thawed up again, and the big ice chunks were coming down on my tin roof. That's not good. Ooh, she's chilly. I noticed I got a little leak after the big storm. Not a big leak, but there is a little bit of water coming in around the chimney. I think the water must be beating around the cap or the ring on the roof. We've had so much rain that it brought the pond up quite a bit, which is unusual just before winter. Usually we need the rain in the spring, and we go into the winter with low ponds. There's a lot of fallen trees from past windstorms. There's a bunch over there. Most of them are rotten. They've been there for years and years. So I'm going to cut down what I can, cut up what I can, bring it down to the beach and burn. Any good things I can salvage, I'll put on my wood rack for my cabin. And last month, this guy broke off right next to the cabin, and he landed right there. So I was lucky. I give you some idea of what it's like here. So all the trees around here has got a rotten art. And I think the ones that are up against the cabin are going that way as well. And I better get them down before they fall on the cabin. There's a family of blue jays somewhere near this pond, and every time I run the chainsaw, they come by. Now, the last time I was feeding some bread, and somebody commented that it's not good for their gut. What they do is they take all the food they collect, they cover it in spit and make spitballs, and they go and put it in different parts of the trees. So then in the springtime, they have their babies way earlier than the other birds to get a jump on things. So they use all these spitballs to feed their young really early in the spring. So somebody said bring seeds and things, so I did. I brought some sunflower seeds, some regular nuts, and they're here today, so I'm gonna put them out. So I put out a little buffet for the gray jays. I got some sunflower seeds. Somebody suggested sunflower seeds. Somebody suggested nuts, and somebody suggested if you're going to give them any type of bread or anything, give them organic crackers. So I got some organic crackers here with veggies in it, and we'll see which one they prefer. Now that one there is going to come down as well, but he's too far from the E for me to do. I'll have to do it from the ladder. And I didn't bring my harness. Guaranteed Johnny Vader's going to give me a hard time on Monday. And this tree, I want to try and drop it right through there. I gotta move their feed over to the other table. So that was a little awkward sawing there, kind of cross-ended. I couldn't really get a good saw on it, but we did manage to put it in the spot we wanted. The top part of the tree was pretty nice, actually. Nice and solid. But when we got down to the bottom, it's all soft and rotten right here. So that'll be what you call the coal burn. The wood burn, but it doesn't burn very hot. And that's what makes creosote in your chimney, a coal burn. I think I scared my gray jays away with dropping the trees. They didn't come back after I put the food out. They usually stick around for the entire time I'm in there. Step 2. Ooh, it's warm now. Well, it feels warm. It's only 1 degree, but when you're working with a chainsaw, it's hot. Cheers. All right, that was a nice break. Now we're going to move everything down to the beach and have a big bonfire. Well, that's about enough for outside today. It's getting dark and the rain is coming. We had a nice bonfire. We did most of the wood. I can put a fire on next time I comes in and finish that off, no problem. But the Grey Jays are back. And I'm just seeing which ones they prefer between sunflower seeds, nuts, and organic crackers. So tonight we're having bottle moose. And in Newfoundland, when you say you're having bottle moose, pretty much everybody knows what you're talking about. Because when you get your moose, you chop it up in little chunks and you fill up mason jars, put a little bit of salt in there, boil it for 3 hours. And then we're going to make gravy right in the pan with it all. You can serve that up over rice or pasta. Okay, to make thickener in a gravy, you just need a little bit of flour, and cold water. And just use the same bottle you just took the moose out, because you got to wash that anyway. And then we're going to stir that into our pan. And that's going to thicken it up for us a little. Warmer again. Get it nice and thick. And then we'll add a few drops of gravy browning. It's very dark, so don't put too much in. Then we're going to have moose with nice thick gravy. Now we'll leave that sit for a minute while it gets the other stuff ready. And we're going to have some biscuit tonight. I'm going to make some muffins for dessert. If I can get them open. Nope. I want them slightly runny or liquidy. Whoops. So I can pour them in my muffin cups. Some blueberries and some raspberries in with them. Tomorrow morning we're going for a big hike. We're going to check out some other rabbit ground over there. See if there's any good rabbit and grouse spots. Good morning. Well, we had a little snow last night. We had a couple inches actually. I guess I got my wood cleared up just in time. And I know I shouldn't feed them bread or crackers or anything, but I put down sunflower seeds, a mixture of nuts, and some organic crackers. And they polished off all the organic crackers, some nuts, and left the seeds. I was thinking last night, some people say that you shouldn't give them bread and things, but they're animals. I think if it was not good for them, or they didn't like it, they wouldn't come back for it, or they spit it out. They're not like humans. They don't eat like pigs and then get sick. So there you go. I'll put it back here because I think they're a bit nervous up there. Okay, well, we're going to go for a little hike today and finish off our day. Lots of snow down, more than I thought. Got about 3 inches here. So today I'm going to do around a 6-kilometer loop that I got marked off for walking. I did this before and I measured off how many times I got come back and forth for the camera and the other gear and checking things out. And I usually add about 3.5 kilometers on that 6 kilometers in order to make this video possible. Well, we're up on top of the main ridge. I took the road today, went all the way around so I wouldn't have climbed that hill. And we're going to try a different route. Place I've never been. Saw a rabbit run up through there, but he's way too fast for me. He's gone over there. I come around the turn, he was just sitting on the pathway. But they're so quick, if you're not ready, you never get them. Some mushrooms here. They're kind of rotten for the winter, but let's see. So these mushrooms are all over the place here in Newfoundland. We have lots of different types of gilled mushrooms. That means they're kind of got like gills on the bottom here. This is the purple gill mushrooms. I think mushrooms are gross. I don't even know why people pick them. There's no survival food in them. There's more survival food in a stick of celery. And there's nothing in a stick of celery. They must like the taste, I guess. Because if you were out stranded in nature and you had to pick something, don't pick mushrooms. There's nothing in them. There's like 2 calories in each one. It takes 8 or 10 calories to chew them up. And they're gross. Did I mention they were gross? I find it difficult hunting this time of year. Fall is just leaving. Winter is just beginning. We got a day of rain and a day of snow. Whew. Well, I tried to take a shortcut around this pond and up over the next ridge. It didn't work. Whew, she's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like a good fishing pond. I'll try this in the spring. But I'm trying to get over that ridge. There's no path. So I'm trying to make my way over there down into the next valley. It's not too bad going in here. I'm trying to get around this little hill, this rocky ridge, so I can get in the next valley. So I'm following this little moose trail all along the edge of the pond. And it's working out pretty good. Humongous fir tree here. Huge. Oh yeah, it must be like 75 feet tall. But I'm going to try and get to that marsh there. Then I want to get to that ground right there up on top of the ridge. It's warmed up quite a bit, and the snow is starting to turn to rain. So I'll get my bearings. I'm actually going to backtrack about 100 meters and go straight up the ridge and try and get that clearing on top. So we've made it on top. We got that first clearing. Now I'm going to try and push through this ridge and get to the big cutover. And from there I could take the old trail back to the cabin. Okay, well, we made it over that path. It was rough going. I wouldn't take that path again. It's growed in badly. So now we're going to have a really nice cup of tea before we make it back to the camp. We're on the old trail again now. We just got 3 kilometers back to the camp. But I'm really hungry, so let's stop and have tea, relax for a while. And it disappears in the mountain. The brook just disappears into the hills and down to the big lake down the bottom. I can see where it comes out again. So remember, when you're going to have a fire, get everything ready. All your wood, your paper, or whatever you brought, and especially your tea. Get it done first, because if you're cold, you're going to need tea. So what I'm going to do is I cut myself a stick. I took the bark off, and I'm just going to heat up this stick here, get it burnt a bit, and then I'm going to put a bannock on it. All right, I think he's done. I don't know if he's done all the way through. This is called the bluebird bannock. Kind of rough. but what I did is put blueberries and cinnamon together at home. So these are my favorite mitts, and I'll tell you why. My mom's eyesight was getting really bad, and this is the favorite thing of hers in the world, was knitting. So I wanted a huge pair of mitts so that when they shrink, they still be huge, really big mitts, and be really warm like these are. So one day I went to visit her and she was not impressed. Apparently she made mitts for me, these right here. But if you notice closely, one has a bit of black in it and the other one is blue all the way through. And she was so embarrassed. She didn't want anybody to see these mitts. And I said, that's okay, I'll wear them anyway, it doesn't matter. She said, no, I'll rip them apart and start again. And I said, no, that's no need of that. So that's why I always hang on to these. The day she was so embarrassed and she realized that her eyesight was getting bad, and she couldn't distinguish colors, especially black and a very dark blue color. So anyway, we had a big laugh about it after she stopped being embarrassed, and I said they were okay, and she was so relieved. So that's why these are my favorite mitts. They're from my mom.